This is Ed Reitz coming to you from Mesa, Arizona. Today I want to say hello, America, but I also want to say wake up, America, before it is too late. I have written a short book entitled America's Last Chance with the subtitle Where Hope Lives. You can obtain a copy by clicking PayPal below this video, or you can order it through Amazon. Actually, the wake-up call is not only for America, but for the whole world. And today, I want to concentrate on one area: evolution, the case against evolution. I graduated from William Cullen Bryant grade school in 1939, a school of about 900. Evolution was not taught. In fact, we had Christmas pageants of the Nativity, and one of my classmates sang "O Holy Night." I graduated from Roosevelt High School, Theodore Roosevelt High School in Seattle, a school of about 2,500, in 1943. Still, evolution was not taught. But sometime during the Second World War, evolution began creeping into the classroom and was incorporated as science and spread throughout America and the world. The tentacles of this teaching have radically changed a vital part of education and helped in removing God and everything about Him out of the classroom. Now I want to give you the case against evolution. First off, it is a theory, not science. The word science means to know. Evolution within a species is a science, and we can know certain things that have evolved within a species due to time, temperature, and other factors. But evolution from species to species is not science. Evolution as it is now taught around the globe is not only improbable, it is impossible. We will begin with logic. We used to have a college course called logic. Now we not only don't teach it, we don't use it when it comes to the teaching of evolution. Logic tells us that for every design, there's a designer. For instance, if we look at the landscape of a city, we see skyscrapers, bridges, tunnels, parks, and we know for all of these things, there was a design. Architects with a vision had a major portion in the design for all of these items. When we look at living things, the same must be true. The hummingbird, the cottontail running across our driveway, the flowering bird of paradise, the geese flying overhead, or the golden retriever that comes up for a pat on the head. Even man himself, male and female, all have to have had a designer. Now I want to take you back to the inspiration for the teaching of biological evolution. Others had thought about it and toyed with the idea, but it was Charles Darwin in his book, The Origin of Species, that appeared in November 24, 1859, with 1,250 copies sold on the very first day. That was the beginning. And it was not presented as science, but a theory. And it has never been removed from the speculation and theory to find its place in the ranks of knowledge. Darwin himself, in chapter 6 of the book, Difficulties of the Theory, pointed to 4 problems that he had with his own theory. He wrestled with them but could not find an answer. And to this day, no evolutionist has ever solved any of the 4 difficulties of the theory that he pointed out in that chapter. The reason is that natural selection or evolution never happened. Let's look at the difficulty number 1 that he pointed out in his book. Here is Darwin's quotation. Why, if species have descended from other species by fine gradations, do we not everywhere see innumerable transitional forms? Why is not all nature in confusion, instead of the species being, as we see them, well defined? In every species it is the same. They are all well defined, as Darwin says. They are complete within themselves, with no evidence that they are becoming something else or that they ever came from another species. To teach that well-defined species came from another species over a period of 3 billion years, as they teach in Arizona schools, is ludicrous. There is no science to substantiate it. The same is true for Darwin's other 3 problems of his theory, but we won't go into them now. The truth is that all species do have a designer. There is a book that spells it out clearly, and it is called the Bible. The designer is called the Creator, and his work is clearly reinforced in multiple books throughout the Bible. For example, in Isaiah 45, verses 12 and 18, where we read, "It is I who made the earth and created mankind upon it." He who created the heavens, he is God. He who fashioned and made the earth, he founded it. He did not create it to be empty, but formed it to be inhabited. He says, "I am the Lord, and there is no other." In Psalm 104:24, we read, "In wisdom he made them all. The earth is full of your creatures." And in verse 30, "When you sent your spirit, they are created, and you renew the face of the earth." So God's creation was not confined to the record in Genesis 1 and 2 only, but continued even after Noah's day. We could go on with Darwin's 3 other problems, plus the ones from chapter 7 of the same book, The Origin of Species, and easily prove that evolution did not cause the creation of divergent species, to say nothing of the need for male and female in all species. Even Darwin himself included this phrase in the final paragraph of his book. Listen to this one. "There is grandeur in this view of life, with its several powers, having been originally breathed by the Creator into a few forms or into one." Now I want to conclude with the real and permanent damage of teaching falsehood of evolution. It is found in Romans chapter 1 of the New Testament, beginning with verse 15. "The wrath of God is being revealed from heaven against all the godlessness and wickedness of men who suppress the truth by their wickedness. Since what may be known about God is plain to them, because God has made it plain to them. For since the creation of the world, God's invisible qualities, his eternal power and divine nature, have been clearly seen, being understood from what has been made, so that men are without excuse." As I point out in my book, America's Last Chance, God has revealed himself clearly in nature. He has also revealed himself in Jesus and longs to reveal himself to every one of us. If we but open our hearts to him and his Son Jesus, whom he sent to this world to be your Savior and the master of your life.